I'm Tom, and I've been thinking, and I want to speak. So this is different. This isn't my usual sort of boxing content, and I get it. If you want to watch it, absolutely click off. This is going to be a solo podcast. Obviously, this is the first episode, so I'm going to have a lot of creases that need ironing out. By all means, give me all the feedback and anything you want to say in the comment section down below. I will be taking it all on board. If you think it's too close, I'll move it back. If you think it's too far, sit really close. But as I say, I'm absolutely happy to move it away, right? But anyway, I've been thinking, this is something I wanted to do for a very long time, a very, very long time. And I've had something sort of happen recently in my personal life that I will touch more on as we go. So I sort of thought, why do I keep putting this off? So I'm probably going to do these kind of semi-frequently. Some will be whilst I'm driving on the move, just because it sort of fits in with my daily sort of schedule, daily life, especially when it's hot, so I can get the AC going. Some will be less frequent, less frequent. Some will be less, as I say, lots of creases that need ironing out. Some will be sort of based, as I am now, stationary, just parked up, having a chat. And I just wanted to, it's basically going to be a way of me speaking. I write a lot. I do a lot of journaling. I write poetry. Speaking of which, I actually wanted to do the poems in this episode, so I've missed that. Hopefully I'll remember to do that in next week's episode. I do poetry, I do short stories, you name it, I probably write it, right? So this is kind of like a physical version of that, right? Well, not physical, but a verbal version of that. So rather than me writing it all down, just me yapping about stuff that no one really cares about. And as I say, it's something new, something different to the channel. Don't want to diversify a bit. The channel's called Thomas Gamble. It's not called Tom Talks Sport or Tom's Boxing Show or anything like that, right? It's just Thomas Gamble. So I wanted to diversify a little bit. I've wanted to diversify for a very long time. I've just never really got round to it. So this is something, it's a way of me doing that. This is what I wanted to do for a very long time, called The Driver's Seat. I know let's adjust the effort in the room. Adi Oladipo has started Card Diaries. Adi Oladipo is a fantastic YouTuber. If you watch me but don't watch him, go and check him out. He's obviously got that, right? And good luck to him, obviously, of course. And this isn't a direct copy of that. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I've got the receipts to prove it. I've written it down, done, made notes and stuff, and mocked up some thumbnail designs from a long time ago. So this isn't me copying him. It just so happens he sort of started, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of have to start now. But also that coincided with something that happened in my personal life, which I probably will touch on. I'm trying to think whether he's gonna, like the effect on him, right? But yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to copy him. It's not that. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. His is Car Diaries. Mine is called The Driver's Seat. It's just a solo podcast, right? I think The Driver's Seat sounds pretty cool. So this is it. It's going to be raw, no scripts, no edits, just me talking my thoughts, right? It's not going to be super long, 15, 20 minutes, at most sort of half an hour. I don't want it to be long clips. No one's going to listen to me for that long. I don't want to listen to you for that long, let alone you guys. So it's going to be raw, as I say, uncut kind of clips where I'm going to touch on different things that I want to touch on that day. It could be sad. It could be that I'm having a bad day. Something's going on in my life. Like this week, something personal's happened and I want to touch on that. It could be the exact opposite. It could be super positive. I've got really good things going on in my life. Something going on with my friends, holidays, motivation, gym, boxing fights coming up. There's no limit really. I'll talk about whatever. So if you've got any ideas, anything you want me to talk about, want to get to know a bit more about me, my childhood, growing up, whatever it is, just ask. I'll happily talk about it. This is what that is. I want it to be a kind of a discussion where I'm going to lay off my thoughts, you can lay off your thoughts, and we'll just get chatting. And down in the comments, I always reply. I always reply. And I will always reply. My Instagram is Thomas_Gamble. Feel free to follow me and DM me, and we can have a chat on there. I'm nothing against that. Like, I've only got like one follower at the moment just because I've made a new Instagram. I don't really do social media, but it's there and I will reply on there, just like I will do for emails or comments. Let's have that. It's going to be raw, uncut script, no script, about whatever I want to kind of talk about that day, or if you want me to hear me talk about things, let me know in the comments. That's not a problem. So let's talk about it, right? I want to do this for ages. Why now? Why is nothing off limits? I've struggled with mental health, right? There it is, for a large portion of my life. And I'm not someone, I don't really believe there's as big a stigma now around men's mental health as there used to be. And hear me out, right? I know that's going to ruffle a few feathers. I think now the stigma isn't necessarily society based. I don't really think if you went and told, some people will. I'm not saying the stigma doesn't exist. The stigma is still there. It absolutely is. But I don't think it's necessarily a problem that people don't know they can talk anymore. I like to think a lot of people, I know personally someone that does struggle. If I go and reach out to one of my brothers, my sisters, my friends, and say that I'm really struggling, they'll listen. They'll talk to me for ages, and they will. I don't think the stigma necessarily is around that anymore. Some people haven't got people to talk to, and some people will still feel too anxious or too alone, and that they can't reach out, and that is a massive, massive shame. I'm not one of them. Fortunately, I know that I've got a very good circle around me, and I can reach out. But that's definitely still there, and I think, in my opinion, what I want this to be is a platform where people feel they can be open, not that they have to be, and not that it needs to be that. Again, it could be talking about something really, maybe you got a promotion at work. Great, drop it in the comments. I'd love to say congratulations. It can be that. But this openness is what I want it to be, where I'm going to talk about things. I'm really going to put myself out there. This is new for me, put myself out there like this. I'm quite a private person. I'm a very private person. So put myself out there like this is definitely something I'm out of my comfort zone in. I'm going to be totally honest with you, really out of my comfort zone. But I'm doing it in the hopes that people will do it with me in the comments and get chatting. And this becomes like a environment where we're just open. Boys, girls, we just have a chat. Good, bad, the ugly, everything in between. And why, that's what I want this to be, right? And why now? That's why nothing's off limits. And why now? I'm going to say it. You might not like it. I've got a lot of family members. I'm one of 12. One of them the other week attempted suicide. Luckily, it wasn't successful. It really did look like it for a little bit. He went into a GCS3. For those of you that don't know, I didn't know, but it's called a Glasgow coma scale, and it's where you rate comas basically on a scale of 15 to 3. 15 being like a little head knock, nothing too bad. 3 being like extremely serious comas that that's the worst it gets. Death and extreme comas. And he got GCS3. So it was pretty scary. It was an overdose. It was some serious stuff. And I went to hospital to see him, and they said, like, you can't see him yet. We're still doing stuff that we need to do, tests and tubes and getting him kind of trying to save his life, basically. So we're not going to be able to let you see him right now. And they even, they said, like, I was like, what's it? And they just basically said, not going to sugarcoat it. What he took was extremely dangerous, and at the moment, we really don't know. He made it. He pulled through, thankfully. And of course, then begins the worry of, well, what now? Because it's not like he just fell over, right? He tried to end his life, and that's something that is a concern looking forward. Do you know what I mean? As it would be for anyone, right? And we did what we could, and we're still talking to him now, obviously. But what it made me think is that, and he said the same. He said he knew that he could have reached out. He knew he could have messaged one of us, but that wasn't it. That's why he didn't, because if he did reach out, we would have stopped him, and he didn't want to be stopped. And that, for me, made me think, I struggle a little bit. I've struggled a lot. He clearly struggles enough to not want to do it anymore. And so many men do. A friend of mine's killed himself, and that's not an uncommon thing amongst men or women, and it shouldn't be. So life's just too short, man. You know what I mean? Life's too short without you trying to do things yourself. And it's too short for me to keep putting things off, wondering. I mean, had that worked, imagine that could have worked. And I'm sitting there thinking, if I started this a bit sooner, he might have seen this and reached out. I'm not saying he would have, right? I'm just saying. And life's just too short to keep worrying about whether it's going to be, because the reason why I didn't start is I want it to be perfect. Right background setup, get the mics, get the nice angles, all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, well, it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's got to be, I've got to start though. And stop putting it off. Life's too short to be constantly worried about what other people are thinking and going to say. I just want to start. And that's why I did, I'll be honest with you. That's why I thought I'm going to start now. And then I saw Adi Oladipo start his and was like, do you know what? This town is big enough for the both of us. So that's why I thought, let's do it. And the more the merrier, in my opinion, if we can all get this kind of thing going where we're all happy to talk. about whatever, like just talk. Like, you know, I've got a few. I played a rugby match yesterday. We lost, but I played a rugby match yesterday. Really enjoyed that. Like really good fun. It's nice to get out there. I don't play rugby as much as I should. You know what I mean? I don't play as much as I should because I enjoy getting everyone around, bumping a few people off, having a couple of handoffs and scoring a couple of tries. I enjoy that. Boxing training's going really well. You know what I mean? And I've just hit, thank you to every single one of you that subscribed. I've just hit 700 subscribers. That's amazing. This marks the 2-year anniversary this week for my YouTube channel since I created it. So to hit 700 subscribers, look, in 2 years, that's not groundbreaking numbers. I don't care. 700 is massive for me. And I've only been taking it serious, and we'll come on to this, for like 6 months. And so you say serious, do you know what I mean? Still filming my car, but do you know what I mean? So that's huge. Like, that's really positive. And I want to talk about these things. These are the things I want to talk about. And that's why I started YouTube, was to talk about these things. And I will come on to that. So that's what I want this to be, right? Is just, I wanted to do it for ages. So do it. And if we can all do it, then brilliant. And now we'll do a little rundown around me. This is what this is going to be. The first episode explaining what this is, explaining why I'm doing it, and telling you a little bit about me. I'm Tom. I'm 22 years old. I've loved sports my entire life. I'd say I've got a passion and a purpose. My passion has always been sports. I'm so passionate about all things sports. You know, you could tell me you play pool every week and I'd be like, that's brilliant. Or you just go to the gym and you do high rocks, or you do weightlifting, or I don't care. That's brilliant. I'm really up for that. Sports has always been my passion, whether it's the gym, rugby, boxing, you know, it's varied. I've done different things. But it's the one vein through that, the thread through it all has been sports. That's my passion. And my purpose is helping people, right? Not really relevant to this, but I find a lot of purpose, I don't know if it's my purpose, but I find a lot of purpose in helping people. For me, that ability to help someone just gives me a lot of purpose. That's my kind of purpose in life. That's why I do what I do. And anyway, so my passion growing up through school was always sports. My friends aren't big into sports, you know, apart from football. Everyone loves football. You're from the UK, everyone loves football. Other than that, my friends weren't too big into sports, right? And I'm sitting there loving rugby, football, boxing, you name it, right? I'll watch the golf, I'll watch the darts, I'll watch the F1, I'll watch whatever. Sports on, I don't mind it. And my friends weren't that big into it. So I was like, well, I want to find an avenue to be able to funnel my passion. Because I've got a rugby family. I've played rugby my whole life. My brothers have played rugby their whole life. So I'm talking about rugby, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, my friends, about football, right? But there's nothing for like boxing. That was like my main one, was boxing. So anyway, being in year 9 at the time, year 9, year 10, so that's what, 14, 15, at most 16 at the time. I didn't want to start a YouTube channel. I was too scared about what my friends would think about me, getting judged and mocked and bullied, the usual stuff, right? As everyone is at my age. So I didn't start a YouTube channel. Instead, I love writing. I love journaling. I love writing. I love, as I said at the start, poems, short stories, you name it. So I started a blog, a nameless, faceless blog where I could just, here's all my stuff. And it wasn't particularly, so let's readjust that. It wasn't particularly popular. It didn't go anywhere, but I started this blog combining writing with sports. And I loved it. I really did love it. I really enjoyed it. Then at about 18, 19, I went to Australia for a little bit. And I went to Australia and I'm one of 12, right? I've got lots of friends, lots of family, too many to just update with what I'm constantly doing about Australia. Too many. So instead, that's when I thought I'll start a YouTube channel, do like little vlogs and just film what I'm doing. So rather than me telling you what I'm doing, you can see what I'm doing. If you've got any questions, want to talk to me about it, drop me a message. So that's what I did. Whilst I was over there, I didn't really have the time to upkeep my blog. But there was a fight happening, Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang, number 1. I was thinking, okay, big fight. I want to give my opinions on it. I want to talk about it. I can't do my blog. I haven't really got enough time. I'll do a video. So I did a video, really enjoyed that. So I'll do another one. Really enjoyed that. So I kept doing it. I came back from Australia, I kept doing it. My channel still kind of, that's why I didn't really take it serious. I was doing like little vlogs, random little vlogs and random content about all sorts of different things and unboxing content. And which was fine, right? But I mean, I wasn't really, there was no structure about my channel at all. But I kept doing it because I actually really enjoyed it, and I still really enjoy it now. This, by no means do I want this necessarily to become my full-time job. I just really enjoy doing it. If it happens, hey, but I just enjoy doing it. So I've never asked for anything, you know what I mean? So anyway, so that's why I started making channels, and I was doing boxing content, and I do a few rugby or football videos, and that's kind of where and then about 6 months ago, maybe slightly more, but it was about a year and a half into making videos, I decided that actually I want to take it a bit more serious. If I'm going to do it, let's do it properly. Let's take it a bit more serious. So I started to make a bit more properness about the videos. Now, I've not got a fancy studio. At the moment, I'm going for a bit of a thing, and I'm not able to film in my bedroom or anywhere, right? So I end up filming in my car. It does the job. It does what it needs to do. But I end up filming in my car, and that's all I can do. I've got a nice mic which I can afford to do, and I'll just balance it on my phone on my dashboard in my car, facing me, and I'll talk. Kind of the angle I've got now is how I'm looking, right? That's all I can do. Unfortunately, I've not got a fancy studio or anything like that. It's just not something I'm got capacity for the moment right now. My life isn't where it needs to be. So anyway, so I've started doing that, but I thought I can get some structure. That's why I thought I'll upload at 3:30 every day. Take the captions a bit more serious, you know, the tags and things like that, and just try and make it a bit more professional. I'll do it a bit more serious. So that's kind of my story of my YouTube. That's why I started, really enjoyed it, started doing it instead of the blog, and just kept doing it instead of the blog. That's kind of it. Again, my story, I'm 22. If you want to know more about my sort of history, growing up, my childhood, that sort of good stuff, I'm happy to tell you about it. I'm not keeping anything secret. As I say, nothing's off limits. I'm just not going to bore you with my life story now. That's not the not expectations, what I'm looking for, not the purpose, not the purpose of this, right? So yeah, that's why kind of why I did all that. And then what you can expect from this, as I say, is almost like a personal podcast. It's just a solo podcast where I'll be talking about everything and anything. Upcoming fights, I'll probably talk about. Upcoming things that are going on in my life, I'll talk about. Things I've just done in my life, I'll talk about. If I'm happy, I'll say that. Sad, I'll say that. Gym sessions, YouTube, boxing, just keeping up to date, right? Kind of what you can expect. And as I say, I'll say it again, nothing's off limits. When we talk about something, drop it in the comments. You want to talk about something, drop it in the comments. It's all fair game. So let's talk about that for the moment. Let's talk about that for the moment. I played rugby yesterday. It was a county cup semi-final. We played the quarter-final last week. We won, got a good try. But we won, got a try. Semi-final this week. The final was playing at Kingsholm, which is like the local stadium. That's not a common thing. It was Gloucester Rugby Stadium. Anyway, so we lost. We played the team semi-final. We lost. It was a fairly close game. They scored like 3 tries in the first 5-10 minutes of each half, and it just left us too much of a mountain to climb. And we did climb it to some extent. We just couldn't overcome it. So fair play to them. Good side, good team, good lads, and good luck to them in the final. They did beat us. Outside of that, my training, I love the gym. I've not been training as much as I could be and should be, just because I got life, you know what I mean? Life happens, life gets in the way. So I've not been training to the extent I'd like, really, unfortunately. But I've been training a little bit here and there, bring over the boxing when I can, and I intend to keep that up. I really intend to keep that up, and that's what you can expect is me talking about that. I've still got tickets to the Eubank Ben fight. I tried to resell them. Me and my mates are going to Centre Parks next weekend, so I tried to resell them to the Centre Parks, completely forgot about it. They've not gone, fair enough, like whatever. So, because they've not gone, I'm just going to go, right? I'll just drive over from Centre Parks. I don't really drink anyway, so it's not going to be hungover or drunk, and I'll just drive there, drive back. Not too big of an issue, you know what I mean? And then obviously the Dubois versus Usyk fight, I'm going to try and get tickets to that because let's look at the undercard first. But if Usyk versus Dubois 2 happens at Wembley, I'm all over that. And I'll try and do like a fight week vlog. And this is it, right? This is it. I'm going to try and do more things on this channel, more series. I'd like to get a guest podcast. I can talk for England in case you couldn't tell. So I'd like to get a guest podcast where I get some guests on. some watch-along videos where I watch along the fights and the football matches and things like that. Really up it. Again, I'm taking it a bit more serious. It's just difficult at the moment when I'm filming from my car. This will obviously always be from the car. It's the clue's in the name. But it's, that's that. So anyway, my point is, if you feel like no one's listening, if you feel like no one's there, no one gets it, and life's happening, I see you and I get it, and this is what this is for. Let's get talking. If you just want to listen to me ramble about random shit, this is that. Listen along. And as I say, my emails, DMs, comment section, let's have that conversation. It's always there. And if there's anything you want me to talk about at all, drop it in the comment section down below. And I'll do my utmost to talk about it. If this resonated with you at all, for whatever reason, drop it a like, drop it a comment. Subscribe if you know how all this stuff works. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you have a like, subscribe, you know how all this stuff works, people. Peace.